Yo, what is up, YouTube? Back in the garage, and it's been a crazy week. I've been getting a lot of packages in the mail, um, and we're gonna try and get some work done today. We're gonna start picking through some of these packages. Today, we are working on our transmission. We're gonna adapt the AR5 transmission out of a Chevy Colorado to make it fit on an LS. So what that entails is a 4L60E bell housing that actually adapts to the transmission. The AR5 has a removable bell housing, which is super nice. So FabbotFab makes a kit with a machine adapter plate, and it comes with all the hardware, and it bolts right up, and the bell housing, the 4L60E bell housing bolts up to that adapter plate. We use a stock Colorado slave cylinder, an internal slave, and I have new braided lines for it. So I'm actually still waiting on one fitting, which is it's the quick release fitting of the Colorado slave cylinder to an AN3 line. But I can still get the kit installed with the line in, and then I can just thread that fitting in whenever it comes in this weekend. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so before I get too far, I need to finish assembling this, seal it up, and that includes getting this crusty seal out of there. I don't know how much time I'll spend cleaning this thing up because you won't see it, but yeah, so that's the first step, and here's the new seal. All right, guys, I didn't bore you with me putting the seal in, but I got the seal on, I cleaned it up, got the seal on, and got some nice RTV in there. All right, guys, that's on. I'll wait till that RTV dries a little bit to torque down the bolts the whole way. But here is the next part, which is actually pretty exciting because this is a beautiful part. This is the FabbotFab adapter plate. Go check them out. They make some cool stuff for the AR5s to adapt them to LSs and other platforms. So here's what we got. Butterscotch, sweet. But no, here's what we got. So clutch line, this is actually didn't come with the kit. I actually ordered that separately. Just stuck it in there, so I had it all together. This did come with the kit. This is a remote bleeder. That way, since there's no hole in the bell housing where the bleeder would stick out, this can just feed up through the adapter plate and mount it up by your master cylinder. Look at how beautiful that piece is. It's a shame that it's not really a piece that'll be seen, but yeah, definitely cool. So I'm excited for that. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do here while my RTV is still wet, there's 3 bolts to replace here. Basically, they're smaller heads. That way they sit down below flush of the adapter plate, and that way they don't interfere with the bell housing. All right, now the next piece is the adapter plate itself. So just fits nicely in there like that, and you put some bolts in. All right, guys, so I actually found out I missed something as I was installing this. These dowel pins were actually left in the AR5 bell housing. So they actually locate the bell housing on the transmission. I actually re-watched the FabbotFab video, and they didn't have these in, and they didn't say anything about them, but I think I need them, and I'm gonna try to put them in. All right, so there you go. That makes me feel a lot better. They tapped right in there, and now this thing is perfectly centered on there, perfectly located. That way, whenever I attach a new bell housing, the input shaft and everything lines up great. So I feel better about that. All right, it's time to install the slave cylinder now. This is the GM quick disconnect that I will be getting rid of. Basically, you press this pin out and then that thing pulls out. And then this is the bleeder, and I'll just unscrew that, screw in the remote bleeder that I have from FABbot, and this thing will be ready to go. Like I said, I'm missing this quick disconnect to AN3 fitting, but I can still put the line in and then thread that in later. All right, guys, a little update. It's looking really good. So I was just fitting this up. It's not bolted in, but I realized, so this is just the stock replacement slave cylinder. And I realized that FABbot actually sells a modified slave cylinder that actually switches these two. So this is the bleeder line, and the bottom one here is the clutch line, which makes sense because you want the bleeder on top. And they actually sell one that is flipped and has the bleeder up here and the clutch line down here. I could be wrong. I think that's how it works. And that way you can loop this around to these grooves over here. But I think all I'm gonna do is leave it on this side, and I'm just gonna do the loop right here on this side and then feed that line through that groove. I'll get it installed real quick and then show you what I mean. So here's what I'm thinking for the bleeder line. I think this will do, and that'll keep the bleeder line on top, and then the clutch line, I'll do the same thing down below. All right, like I said, I don't have this adapter yet, but this is how the clutch line's gonna go. And I already have it in there, which means I can install the bell housing. I got the bell housing on and got the bolts in. You can see that even with the bolts tightened down, this still has play in it. So that's really nice. Not that I would be able to remove them, but I will be able to adjust them. But that's gonna be the setup there once I get that last fitting. And this line will be plenty long to run up to my master cylinder. So we're looking good. Just gotta torque these down. I think it's 38 foot-pounds. So there you go, guys. I think that's it for this video. I feel pretty good about what I got done with the transmission. Yeah, one step closer. As I showed you guys before, I got a bunch of parts over there. So stay tuned for the next video. Could be something with the engine, could be something with the car. I guess we'll see. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and have a good night.